Hello guys, welcome back to Bullet Watch channel. Guys, today I want to do a review on this one hell of a piece from Kurono Tokyo. This is the Kurono Tokyo Calendrier, a watch that was released back in 2022. And Kurono Tokyo itself is a micro brand from Japan. They were established in 2019 and associated with Hajime Asoka, who is also one of the best watchmakers in the world from Japan. And Hajime Osoka, he's an independent watchmaker, and his pieces are all rare and very expensive. And the reason why he finally established Kurono Tokyo is because he want to give access to those people who like his work, but do not have the opportunity to own one. So he create like a cheaper line, which is this one, Kurono Tokyo, so that people, more and more people, can enjoy his work without spending a lot of money. So they will have more access. So guys, this watch is Kurono Tokyo Calendrier, again released back in 2022. So it's quite it's not really an old model, but this piece has already been discontinued, and the same as other pieces from Kurono Tokyo, this piece is relatively rare because all of the Kurono Tokyo watches, they're all produced in uh, smaller quantities. And this watch, even though Kurono Tokyo doesn't disclose how many pieces they actually produce, but I believe it's gonna be, the number is gonna be about 500, around 500 to 1,000 pieces. So it's quite hard to get. I missed the release, but I'm quite lucky that I'm able to own this piece because I source it from secondary market afterwards. So let's get started, guys, with the review. So first, let's start with the case, with the proportion. Okay, so the case diameter of this watch is 38 millimeter, which is very nice. Not if you, this watch is from Japan. If you look at watches from the, from Switzerland, right? There are not really many watches from Switzerland, even though they come out with more and more smaller pieces nowadays, 38, 39. But most of the time, when you see the watches from Switzerland, they're all like 40 millimeter and above, 42 millimeter, 40, 42 millimeter. But for someone with a smaller wrist like me, 38 millimeter is just very nice. And I love the fact that Kurono Tokyo, whenever they come out with watches, their size is always about 37 to 38 millimeter, which I think is very is a great blessing for people like me who have a smaller wrist. So this one is 38 millimeter, is very nice. If you have a bigger wrist, um, don't don't think that this watch will not look good on you, okay? Because 38 millimeter is actually a very nice size, for someone with a smaller wrist or bigger wrist. Anybody can actually wear 38 millimeter. It's a very nice size, guys, really. That's what I want to say, okay? Maybe it's not really, is maybe it's slightly on the smaller side compared to like 40 mil, but 38 is a very sweet size. That's what I want to say. And this watch has a very unique color. As you can see, the dial is green. It's khaki green, or olive green. I don't know. But yeah, it's khaki green. And I really love it because and actually that's the main reason why I finally decided to buy this piece, is because I'm really in love with the green uh, color, um, from this watch, because it's very unique. It's not the typical green that you can see from other watches in the market. I haven't seen any watches in the market that has similar green like this one. The green is very nice, very beautiful, and also it doesn't have the sunburst. Most of the watches outside that I have seen, those with the green dials, they always have a sunburst effect. I hate it. I really hate sunburst dial, but this one doesn't have sunburst dial. So it's just a plain dial, which I really love. And the watch is, the thickness is 10 millimeter, from the case, from the bottom of the case to the top of the coin bezel here, is 10 millimeter. But if you include the crystal here on top, it's gonna be around 11.5 millimeter. The proportion is very great, guys, on this watch. And even though it's rated at 10 millimeter, thickness. But when I wear it, I find it to be I find the watch has this very nice wrist presence. So it feels quite thick on the wrist, but in a good way. It's not thick as in like, oh, okay, it's too thick, or it's not. Most people do not like thick watches because they don't. It doesn't feel comfortable. But that's not the case with this watch. When I put it on my wrist, yes, it feels thick, but in a good way. It feels solid, and it's still comfortable. Okay, but it's just that for a 10 millimeter watch, I imagine that, oh yeah, it will be like, it feels thin on the wrist, but it's actually not the case, which surprisingly, with this watch, because with the 10 millimeter of thickness, it's it has a wrist presence, so it feels thick, and it gives a nice wrist presence on the wrist, which I really really love. Okay, I've worn a piece like IWC Mark 18. It's rated at, I believe the thickness of IWC Mark 18, if I'm not mistaken, is around 11 millimeter, but it felt thin on the wrist. I don't have that watch anymore, but it feels thin on the wrist, when I wore it last time. But not the case with this watch, even though it's 10 millimeter. Mm, so actually 1 millimeter thinner than the AWC Mark 18, but this watch feels thicker on the wrist, and it has a wrist presence. Not the case with the IWC Mark 11, Mark 18, even though it's actually about 1 millimeter thickness. This is why I always say that if you want to buy a watch, right, you cannot really judge it until you wear it, you try it, and even after you try it in the store, it's gonna be a different experience after you wear it every single day. A watch is to enjoy a watch, you need like a full experience. You cannot like judge it, from just by seeing the paper spec in the computer, or just go to the store, play with the watch for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 10 minutes. No, you have to really bond with it. You have to really wear it every single day to be able to judge fully, understand it completely. But this watch, after play for like months, I can tell you that, yeah, this watch has a very very nice presence, and the proportion is really great. So don't be discouraged. 10 millimeter, it's solid. Okay, that's what I want to say. And actually, in the website, Hajime Osoka also says that he wants this watch to be a dress watch that can be worn like every single day. It's intended to be worn every single day. It's not a watch that is worn on like special occasion only. No, it's a watch that is meant to be worn like as a daily wear. Okay, and this watch can function as such, because you can see like this is a full calendar watch. So you have date complication, and then you have day complication, and then you also have month complication. So if you like to track time, this is the watch for you, because you can track anything basically. Okay, everything. You can track the month, you can track the date, you can track the day. Very very nice. Okay, and the what power reserve of this watch is slightly short. It's 40 hours. It has a generic movement, a Miyota movement, and the power reserve is a little bit lacking. Okay, but it's expected, because it's a generic movement. So if you see Swiss watches using ETA, normally they have about 38 hours of power reserve. So this one, 40 hours, is actually about the same. I don't have a complaint about it. If you wear it every single day, I think it's gonna be fine. And yeah, and the watch doesn't have a closed case back, so it's sorry, it doesn't have an open case back. It's just closed case back, because actually there's nothing to display. And yeah, because it's a generic movement, it doesn't have in-house movement, and that's why it's not really. I mean, this watch is not really. It's still expensive, but it's not like you're not talking about. We're not talking about like Omega or Rolex price. This is still using a generic movement, Miyota, but the movement is actually very very nice, guys. A lot of people, I don't know why, the main criticism I get against Kurono is always about the movement, but I always find it a little bit too exaggerated, because Kurono, if you buy Kurono Tokyo, it's not, you don't buy the movement, but you buy the design. Okay, that's what you buy actually. You get a design that is not common, that is special. That's what you get when you get a Kurono Tokyo watch, and this watch is no exception. The design is very very unique. And also, so I like the coin bezel here, and I like the design of the hands. You know, it's Kurono style. And oh yeah, and also talking about the movement, even though it's a generic movement, but the accuracy has been great. I have tested it, and I get about plus 3 seconds every day, each day. So it moves like 3 seconds faster. So which is actually in line with the COSC standard. So it's not rated as COSC. Like Swiss watches that's advertised as oh COSC, COSC. No, it doesn't have that kind of certification, but this watch is is within that line, within that COSC standard plus 3 seconds. Very, very nice, very good, very good, very good accuracy. It's as accurate as my Breitling. So yeah, guys. Oh yeah, and also the water resistance is 50 meters. So it's not a watch that you can actually swim with. I will not feel safe if I have to swim with this watch, even though in theory maybe you can, like on the surface. But I will not. I will not do it, especially for a complicated watch like this. But I feel relatively safe if I have to go out, like if I get if I get caught in the rain. So I think it'll be just fine, but I will not swim with it. So yeah, so it's great, that Kurono Tokyo decide to give us 5 ATM of water resistance instead of just 3 ATM, 30 meters of water resistance. So it's slightly more robust. And yeah, so I really like this watch, guys. I like the color. I think the color is very unique. I like the design of the watch, the dial, the accuracy has also been very, very great, at only about plus 3 seconds each day. And this is a watch that, if you like green watch, you can consider this one, because I think this is, to me, this is one of the best, one of the best, or if not one of the most unique green color that I have seen in a watch. It's plain green. It doesn't have sunburst effect, and yeah, if you and this watch is also unique in a way, because I think this is the first complication. This is the first calendar complication released by Kurono Tokyo. So it's quite special, really. So if you like this watch, I recommend this watch. I think this is a watch that is quite unique and has a style. If you like, if you are after this kind of watch, with a calendar complication, if you like green dial, this is definitely the watch to get. I really recommend it. I think I don't have any complaints really against this watch. I think it's very nice, especially the proportion that I really what I like the best from this watch is the green dial, is the green from this watch. I think it's very unique, the green that this watch has, and also the proportion. I think the proportion is really like one of the best, because it's comfortable to wear, 10 millimeter, but at the same time it has this very nice wrist presence on the wrist. So it feels like, even though it's a dress watch, but there's a really like a sporty vibe to it, which I really, really love. So yeah, guys, this is recommended. And so yeah, guys, let me know what you think about this watch. Do you like this watch? Do you agree with what I say about this watch? What do you think about this review? Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope this benefits you in some ways, if especially if you want to buy this watch. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like watches or horology, please help to subscribe this channel, help this channel grow. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.